No. To the people in your lives, you have no responsibility. Because that's literally what you said in a very roundabout way. You also said that to the 1,500 people or so that she's triggered, she doesn't owe an apology to. It's rather more than 1,500 people. Can I just say that? Yes, she is, Lauren. Not responsible for them. Do you know what? You're not responsible for other people's feelings. You are not responsible for other people's reactions. What you are responsible for is what comes out of your mouth. You do not say the things that Scouse says, and also claim to be a safe space, that it's okay not to be okay, and here are some helpline numbers. You also don't do that. If you are building your platform on the back of, I'm going to be a mental health advocate, you don't then trigger thousands, that's thousands of people. You clearly have a very limited understanding of what post-traumatic stress disorder is. I would advise you go and look it up. It's very real and it's very hard to live with. I was told yesterday that somebody who was in a car had a flashback whilst driving. I don't think you appreciate the seriousness of what Scouse has said. And I'm not even going to give you any credit or any latitude, because if you haven't seen the whole thing and you haven't understood exactly the context of what Scouse said, then you have no business commenting. No business. Get your facts in order before you decide to launch into protecting somebody that you clearly don't know as well as the rest of us. Some of us have had the misfortune of being Scouse's friend. Sorry, we thought we were friends. She clearly didn't. The damage she causes in every community she enters is unreal. And I'm not just speaking about my little group of friends and what she did to us. There are many of us, right? So do some fact checking and do some background. I would have accepted you staying quiet on the matter to protect your business. I would have had no problem with that. But you've chosen to open your mouth and have a say on something you clearly don't understand. PTSD is very, very real. And it costs lives, Gracie. And those people that were triggered by what Scouse has said, it's not a question of deciding to be offended. It is a reaction. Do you understand? That is different. It's not a thought process. It's not a clutch pearls moment. It's a reaction. And the reaction overwhelms you. Have you never been in that situation? You've had, haven't you? You've had your own issues, so you should understand how strong the mind is. Lots of people deal with the after effects of what's happened to them. And we spend our lives dealing with those after effects and addressing them, dipping in and out of therapy or staying in therapy. Lots of us are on tablets. So do not presume to sit in judgment of something you clearly have no understanding of. Your continued support for this creator speaks volumes. You are an enabler, and I would never ever have said that about you, but you are. You should have kept quiet. You really should have kept quiet. Have your opinion. Talk about it behind... it's okay, talk about it behind closed doors. But do not attack those people who have been deeply affected by what Scouse has said. She's not even one of your biggest creators, so why are you bothering? Oh wait, I know. Gets numbers in, doesn't it? Numbers into your room. I'm disgusted. I've got 20 years on you, 18 years on you, Gracie. I'm disgusted. I thought you were better than that. I really thought you were better than that. I feel exactly the same way about you as I do Scouse and EQ. And that will never change now, because this is my line. And I will defend people who were affected by that filth every day of the week, 7 days a week, right? And I will always stick up for and stand with victims and survivors. There aren't words, actually. There are not words for what I've heard you say on that live this evening. To say that you are not responsible for people's reactions is correct, but you are responsible for yours. You're responsible for your reactions, and you're responsible for your actions and what comes out of your mouth. Have you any idea the anger that this has caused? It's bigger than you clearly have any idea of. And we might be small creators, lovely, but when we all band together, we are very loud. And my friend has been in your live tonight trying to tell you you're wrong and trying to show you why you're wrong. You just, not interested, are you? Not interested. Anybody defending Scouse, anybody subbing to Scouse, anybody who even goes in her room at this point, don't come here. Do not come to my room. I don't want you here. This room is for those people who have been affected. And if you are not with us, and I said this last night, if you are not with us, you are against us, because this is not a sit on the fence situation. This is not a, I'm not gonna comment. You either stay quiet or you support the people who are the victims, not the perpetrators. And let me tell you something else, Gracie. If you had said something like this, Miss Red had said something like this, Canadian Ange had said something like this, you'd all be tearing them a new one. Wouldn't you? Hand on heart, wouldn't you? But because it's Scouse Slayer, because she's hanging around with your friend EQ, what, she's untouchable? This will continue, and this will be, the ramifications for this for Scouse will be felt off the platform. Do you understand? There are things happening in the background because that woman is a mother. That woman claims to also have been a victim. I am so disappointed in you. So disappointed. I never ever thought I'd have to block you, honestly. Tell you what, you're a mother. Put yourself in the situation where, God forbid, something like that happened to someone you love. And then tell me that Scouse doesn't need to apologise, doesn't need to take accountability. The other thing that Scouse said today was it wasn't her fault that we all misinterpreted what she said. Again. Blaming the people, that's victim blaming, you know that, right? That's victim blaming. You don't think we've had enough of that? You are responsible for what you say, and this is the backlash from that. You caused this, not us. You caused it. because you thought you were big and clever and were going to say something that was provocative and, you know, a little bit edgy. No. When you get people talking to you in tears, they are broken all over again because they've been forced by listening to you to relive something that they try so hard to not remember. You come and tell me then it's been misinterpreted. And as a survivor, allegedly, you should know that. Shouldn't you? Oh, and don't bring my kids into it, please. You brought your own kids into it. Do you know how you did that? Because they were with you, weren't they, when you said what you said? Don't worry, it's all been screen recorded. I am so disgusted, and I'm talking quietly because if I don't, I'll shout. And I don't want to get off to a bad start, and I don't want to trigger anybody else. But let me tell you, every single one of you in here, especially to those people who survived, myself included, please know that this place, these lives will continue for as long as you need them. I will be reporting her to the correct authorities also. Hang on a minute. Is this the same Gracie the last week? She didn't want to know drama. Correct, Lady Libra. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Didn't want to get involved. Yeah. Yes, the recordings have been handed over, I believe. Poker might be able to tell me a bit more about that. You're very welcome. Whose name, Denise? I'll say it once and then I'm not repeating it because it makes me feel physically sick. Scouse Slayer has 2 accounts on here to the best of my knowledge. One is Surviving Scouse Slayer. I don't know what the other one is. Savage Scouse Slayer, I think. Please, if you don't know the backstory and you don't understand what's happened, go onto YouTube, onto the Observer's page. It's up there. The live is up there. For context, the person she was directing those comments at, she knew what had happened to them. That just puts it into context. And I'm so sorry for that happened. Thank you. I'm so sorry that happened. I can't put into words the disgust I feel. But yeah, trigger warning, and it's a massive trigger warning. If after you've watched it, you need any support, please inbox me, any of the mods, and we will happily talk to you and point you in the direction of support. I've had people who have supported Scouse message me to ask me what had happened, and I have done the same. I've directed them to the live that was recorded, and they have since unsubscribed and unfollowed Scouse. That's the thing is, you know, you don't know who your audience are. You see comments and you see names of people, but you have no idea who they are. You don't know their background. You don't know their history. You don't know anything about them. So you have to be very careful what you say. And a lot of creators on here aren't, you know, and they will... Pearl, for example, and I have had previous issues with Pearl, but I would like to say that she conducted a live tonight about Scouse Slayer, and she conducted it with dignity and with grace, and I was very impressed actually how responsible she was. And I want to thank her for holding that live. I also want to thank NJ Hosts. He is doing a live tomorrow night. I think it's at 9:30 again about Scouse. There are many lives going on at the moment. I want you to know that if if any of these things trigger you, please, I've switched my messages on to everybody, so you can contact me through here. It's not a problem. If you want, I can give you an email address you can also contact me through. I have to say that I am not qualified to counsel anyone, okay? But I am here to support, and I am able to guide you to the correct support services if that's what you want, okay? So, but in here, we are a supportive group, and we are absolutely here for those that have been devastated by what's happened. Grace's life for questioning. Again, Foxy, I tell you, it speaks volumes, doesn't it? When those who are questioning and saying, hang on a minute, how can you support that, are then getting blocked. Seriously. The only people that are getting blocked from this live is anybody that comes in and sticks up for Scouse. And it's an absolute no-brainer for me. If you support Scouse, you don't support us, and it's a straight block. I'm sorry, and that block won't be lifted. So if you're going to come in here and you're going to cause trouble, if you're going to upset people, don't bother. Don't bother, the door is there. Scouse is not allowed to come in here, and anybody that says, oh, it wasn't that bad, any of that rubbish, instant block. The mods know they're not allowing it, because this live is for those of us who... the thing with what Gracie has said tonight, for me, as a survivor, and I'm speaking for me now, the one thing you lose as a survivor and as a victim is your voice. You lose your voice. So many of us were not believed. So many of us kept quiet because of the feelings associated, and our voice was taken away, right, by these perpetrators. And so to have somebody tell you, you've misinterpreted what I've said, nobody owes you an apology, again, it's feeding into that PTSD feeling, and it's feeling like, hang on, I don't have a voice again. This live's for you. So blocking people, Gracie, because they are telling you you're wrong, you're doing the same, aren't you? You're doing damage to a damaged community. Well done. Hope you're proud. Sleep well tonight. Have the day you deserve, is all I can say. Oh, bless you, darling. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Pin Granny Lisa. Sorry, I missed all that. I'm just checking in with the comments to make sure everybody's okay. It was Mama. Yeah. It is. It absolutely is. And it's awful. When you finally pluck up the courage, and it takes so much to finally tell somebody, look, this is what's happened to me. To then have, I don't believe you, you're making it up. What did you do? All the usual, and it's soul destroying, and it for the rest of time you kind of go through thinking, I'm not going to say that because nobody will believe me, or I won't say that because, it's not worth me. It's not worth it. That's really upset me, that has, but I'm not going to say anything. That's how you end up being. And so to have somebody support Scouse and also shut down your response is... it's an absolute slap in the face. Which is why I won't entertain anybody in here that has anything positive to say about Scouse Slayer. Sorry, I'm never normally like that. Oh, God's sake, really? The thing with Scouse, I'll tell you this, the thing with Scouse, and I know this from being friends with her, former friends with her, you kind of feel comfortable with her. She says the right things, and she's she kind of makes you feel like, you know, you've got an ally. And so you do end up sharing parts of your private life. What she will do is she will take that information and she will tell you it's her trauma and it's happened to her. And she'll take it and twist it and use it for her own advantage. So, and this is what everybody who's supporting Scouse doesn't understand. This is not an isolated incident. Can I just say, this is not an isolated incident. This is a pattern of behaviour. This is something she's done before. And if she's not held accountable this time, she will do it again. Please believe me. If you don't believe me, which is absolutely your prerogative, I have many people on here who will tell you the same thing. It really isn't just us. I used to like her. I've seen the change. The real one, Dawny, is the one you're seeing now. The real one, the real Scouse is who you are seeing now. This is her. This is absolutely her. It's okay not to be okay. That's not Scouse. That's not Scouse. That's the character she was playing. But what you're seeing now is the real Scouse. Be in no illusion, under no illusion, this is who she is. I know. Sorry. Yeah, Madhead, it's quite... Do you know, when you come to a point where you have forgiven yourself and understood that it was nothing you did, that just having that, taking that power back from the perpetrator is massive and has a huge impact on the healing process. You know, I don't know whether anybody else feels the same, but I felt like last night was such a cathartic live. Claire M, if you go on to YouTube, there is a channel on there called The Observer. I do believe she recorded it and uploaded it to her channel. I want to give a caveat with that. It is a very hard listen. If you have been affected by what Scouse was alluding to in that live, it is going to hit hard. So please be in a good headspace, and if it affects you, reach out. Don't sit and feel what you're feeling on your own, because I promise you, you're not on your own. There are so many of us who have kept quiet up to now, ironically, and we're all sort of coming together and supporting each other. So please be very careful, be mindful of yourself. It's that bad. It is that bad. Sorry, I'm just catching up. If anybody... Hi, Harry! If anybody doesn't know who I'm talking about, if one of the mods could pin who we're talking about just for 1 minute, just so that I don't have to keep saying, do you, Frida? See, I'm in TikTok terms, I'm kind of a newbie. I've only been on about 18 months, I think. Oh, thank you, Gillian. I've been on here about 18 months, so I didn't know any creators on here, and I certainly hadn't heard of Scouse. She came into my live at a time when I could see she was genuinely getting trolled by somebody, and we kind of bonded over that. But yeah, it's a pattern. It's a pattern of behaviour. Thank you for the gifts. Yeah, Miss Paul, it took me a while. It took me a while to see what was happening, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. And for me, the problem came when it affected a very good friend of mine. And then once your eyes are opened, you kind of go, oh, right, so she did that. She's done that before, right? Okay. And it's funny, when you've got your eyes open, people then start telling you stuff that they didn't tell you before because you've been friends. Oh, bless you, Meggles. Bless you. I thank you so much. Thank you. A lot of them are Incy. A lot of them are, which was why that uncle comment was so inappropriate is the least offensive word I can use. For anybody gifting, can I just say, because if anyone says to me, you shouldn't have your gifts on, right, I have my gifts on. They are not for me. Okay, it all goes into a pot, and when people need financial help, that is what the pot is used for. I don't go out and buy Gucci bags and all that stuff. It's not for that. I have my own money and I live within my means, so I don't need topping up from strangers. So any money will go in the Misfits pot. Okay. Just for anybody that starts to come for me again about gifts, that's why I have my PayPal in my bio. Again, it's not for me. It stays in PayPal, okay? And it is the Misfits pot. So you don't have to gift. That's not what I'm saying to you. I'm just saying my gifts aren't on for personal gain. Please understand, they're not on for personal gain. You coming for me? Rachel, I don't understand that. What does that mean? Was that a winky? Winky face. It's all right. Blind. I'm blind. Misfits pot. It's oh, bless you, darling. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you, Purple Dawn. Yeah, I see you. Don't worry. It's all right. I know you follow me. So it's all right. It's because I'm blind. Even with glasses. Yeah, the Misfits pot. Right. How do I explain this? So when I first came live, which was probably about a year ago, just over a year ago, we called ourselves Misfits. We were having a conversation. We were all saying that none of us fit in anywhere, and we were all a bit quirky and weird, and we called ourselves the Misfits. So what then happened was people were gifting, and I was getting all this money, and I thought, it doesn't feel like it's mine. Does that make sense? So what I ended up doing was setting up the PayPal so that it stays in the PayPal account. Does that make sense? So I hate to blow my own trumpet. I hate it. But just so that you can understand what I do or what we do, there was a lovely lady in Australia whose house had been flooded for the second time. She had nothing. Her children had nothing. And so we took a portion of that money and we donated it to her to enable her to buy bedding, beds, mattresses, clothes, essentials for her children. I don't know whether she's in here, but she got that money. I don't think she could understand that somebody she'd never met from across the other side of the world would do that, but that's what we do. So the Misfits is just what we call ourselves, the kind of original group that watched my first live where I talked for 5 minutes and nobody could hear me. Goodness knows why you stuck around after that, but you did. And so that's what we call ourselves. I sell stuff that has Jojo's Misfits on, which is now trademarked. Again, that money has been used to send out mugs specifically to people that can't afford them. Other TikTokers have other members of the Misfits have paid for other Misfits to have mugs and stuff. It's not it's laughing with me, yeah, okay. It's not a business. Do you understand? It's a community. So I've got other stuff that's coming out, but just an FYI to my peeps in the who've been suffering through the mug scenario, it's outsourced now, so please don't worry. But yeah, I've got other stuff coming out, but that also raises money for the Misfit Pot. And the big one this year is that we all want to meet up. It would be so wonderful to be able to give each and every one of you a hug. It would be brilliant. So we're still looking for a venue, and we need to settle on a date. I think we settled, did we say September-ish time? But we're all over the country. So I'm in Scotland, we've got people in Ireland, we've got people down south. So some of that money will be used to pay for accommodation for those that can't afford it, and travelling expenses for those that can't afford it. I do like my own lives quite often. And I also come out with my words back to front. So yeah, stay tuned. It will happen. But yeah, that's the sort of thing we use the money for. Okay, so yes, all right. Yes, I was trying to big up a friend's business and I accidentally called Wax Melts Max Welts, and it stuck. But yeah, that's what it's for. So anyone that's saying I shouldn't have my gifts on, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out. So yeah, what's happened today, I think, has made me even more angry, if that is possible, from what was originally the problem, which was Scouse. And I think all of this justification and backtracking and standing by her and now victim blaming has made me even more angry than the original incident. Can I just say, because of the continuing damage that it's doing. Hi, Judy. I'm good. So if anybody wants to come up in the boxes, you are absolutely more than welcome. Trigger warning to anyone in the audience. Please be mindful. Some of the things you'll hear they will trigger you. They have triggered me, but you know, I've got an extremely good support system. If anything does trigger you, I know, Flick, same. I didn't get to sleep until 4 o'clock this morning. My mind was just blown. If anything triggers you, if you find anything upsetting, please inbox us. Thank you so much, who that is. Hiya, darling. Yeah, inbox me. I've also got an email address that I will, if I can, I'll put it up in a post. So, thank you, Incy. Please reach out. I will absolutely, I will support you. I will support anyone that needs me. I need you all to know that I believe you, because that's the first thing. Having somebody believe you. I believe you. I have no reason not to, okay? There's only one person I don't believe, but I believe you. So if you need my support, I'm absolutely here for you. My mods are here for you. Bear with us. We've had a lot of people reaching out, and we all suffer with disabilities and stuff as well. So, thank you. So yeah, please reach out, and if we will direct you to places that can give you proper support and advice. There are pages. There's a TikTok on my page that has I think it's 3 organisations that you can contact if you need. Yeah, absolutely valiant. Hi, Jack. If you need to reach out, but by all means send me a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can, and I will support you. I will support you to the point, if I can get to you, I will. Right? So, yeah. Please, please. Hello, poet. Welcome. Hi, hello, you. So many people in here are just beautiful people, and they are incredibly helpful. Yeah, we've got you. We've definitely got you. Oh, Scouse sister, darling. Hi, Michelle. We're talking about the after effects and the ongoing effects of a live that Scouse Slayer did that has triggered thousands of people, and we are discussing how we're not going to be discussing those people that are supporting her. In short. Thank you for the follows as well. I really, really appreciate it. We are. Yeah, you can absolutely reach out. And you know, I will give out my email address if anybody needs to send me an email if they feel that would be better. And please also know, I don't share your information. I don't give out details of what I'm told, okay? I might generalise, and if I'm talking about you, only you will know who I'm talking about. So please don't think that at any point I'm going to take any information you've given me and use it against you, all right? I will tell you this now. I know where Scouse Slayer lives. I've got her address. I will never give it out. Ever. It doesn't matter how much I dislike her and how much I want revenge. Believe me, I'm not a saint, but I would never. Okay, so your information is safe, and that goes to any of my mods. I know them outside of TikTok, so please, if when I'm telling you, you can trust them, you can trust them. Oh, thank you, Sue. Cece's amazing. Cece is amazing. Oh, wow, poet, do you? No problem, Flick, lovely. You take care. Sorry, I'm a bit behind. I know, Scouse, tell me. It's a good job I'm in Scotland. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. If we can have a mod up in the box as well, you can rotate you if you want. But if a mod can come up, you don't need to speak. Just come up. Oh, thank you, Rio. Oh, bless you, Liz. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh! Look, no hands.
I think that's me.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hiya.
Good evening, Jojo.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. This morning I did go live with Miss Red because we were talking about like parenting and stuff like that, and Gracie did pop on. But then hearing about what's just happened, it's just a bit who say he say hypocritical sort of thing. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, sorry, let me just quickly mute my phone because I don't want that pinging off. Because if it was a big creator like that is controversial, like CLA, DG, or anyone like that, or if it was a male that said that, they'd be up in arms for months about it. They'd be they wouldn't be swinging. They'd be going, I can't believe they said this, rah, 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 blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But points on Miss Red yesterday, though. I will give points on Miss Red yesterday. She mentioned it, she moved on.
Good.
Like she didn't want to know. She mentioned it, she moved on, she called it a day. And then she just got on with her thing because it's like, yeah. I don't know about what EQ said or anything, and I do follow EQ, but EQ's just EQ.
I think she's just played it down. I think she's just, yeah.
EQ's just EQ, but with with Gracie just saying that, it's just like, well, would you though? Would you really?
Yeah. I just think if you're, I think there's a lack of understanding there, maybe. And, the thing is, if you haven't been through stuff, it's very hard to put yourself in somebody's shoes. But for me, it's a sense of, you got to have a sense of decency, haven't you? And there are things you just don't, you just don't say. You just don't
definitely.
say. And I think it would have been wise for Gracie just to not have said anything.
Definitely, Jojo. Definitely. Like my partner, he's not gone through the stuff that like I've gone through. You know what I mean? He's seen me have meltdowns. He's seen me have like trigger points and that lot. And I give him points, and he's sitting right next to me. I give him points because he didn't know what to do, but only what he did was the only thing that to calm me down was be there for me.
Exactly.
And like, he is one of my rocks.
Yeah. And that's what we are in here. That's what, we're here. We're listening.
That's one of the things I've popped up for. I did see when you first came on, Jojo, somebody was asking for help. Now, there's a lady on here, a young lady, stunning lady, and her whole ethos, hey, that's a big word for Auntie Di, is mental health and passing people to the right people for help. Not about getting money, not about I'm not promoting her in here, Jojo, for anything other than she helps people with everything. She doesn't talk to them because, like you said, she's not a professional. But she's taken it upon herself. She's got all the information for all the different areas within the country to help people. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I know you're going to be on those nights this week. Oh, okay. Her name's Becky Boo.
Yeah.
But her actual thing is Sing 58 84 32 is her actual. But she's there to help anybody because you're amazing, Jojo. As you know, I was one of the original Misfits.
You were.
And all the mods are amazing, and you know how I feel about each and every one of you. But there's so much help needed now. So if we can spread this help so that what I don't want to hear in 3 months' time is how people who are reaching out are so overwhelmed that they're not there for themselves. Because your heart is so big, the same as all your mods and so many other people in there, that my concern is that you get overwhelmed with everybody else and forget about yourselves. And I don't want anybody to do that, because that's not what life's about, Helping people is great, but you can't help any if you're not in the right place too. I don't know how that came across. I hope it came across right.
No, it came from a good place, my darling.
And it is, if we can find people out there to help anybody, some people take a while to reach out, and it's not necessarily about what just happened yesterday. A lot of help's needed for a lot of things. And if one thing's happened, all these things are coming together now, and we're finding out what help's out there. So please reach out to people. Thank you, Jojo.
You're very welcome, my love.
I just wanted to get that across to people.
And just before I clock off, now this ain't me promoting my profile. That I reposted. I reposted Samaritans on my TikTok page. So if you just go onto my profile, don't need to follow me. Just hit on my repost thing. It's the first one there. They are really, really good. They helped me through the 3 years when I moved up in the northeast area, and I was at my lowest of the low, and they helped me really, really good. Also, Navigo, I will give them promotion and all, but literally, please don't. You don't have to follow me. Just literally go there, click on the repost, and then you'll see the number for Samaritans. They are really good. They are so anonymous, and it's like what Auntie did say. We can help, but we can only help to a certain degree. We are not professionals here. we can only give you advice of what we've done. If that don't help, you have to have professional, and that's what Samaritans do. They are so anonymous. They are not gonna like do anything, give your number out or anything like that. But they are there to literally help.
You can email them as well, and I find that really, really helpful. Emailing the Samaritans, because sometimes you can't say it, but actually writing it down is just as cathartic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it is easier, isn't it? I don't want to speak to anybody. If you write it, you're getting it out there and then. And, you know.
And a lot of us have anxiety, you know, and so making a phone call is hard enough, you know, never mind saying everything else. So, yeah, that's a really good point. You don't have to make a phone call. There are other ways to interact and get help.
And Jojo, carry on being you. You are amazing.
I will. Don't worry. I'm too old to change.
Hey, and, you know, if we can't get them off, we can make people aware.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
you know, we can't change these people, but we can make other people aware so they don't get hurt by these awful, awful people out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Hi, Tony. Tony, while you're in here, darling, write Becky Boo's thingy on there for me. Thank you. He's one of Becky's lot.
Right, okay.
Okay.
All right,
bye,
darling. Take care.
I'm going to drop an all because I'm going to be...
All right, sweetheart.
...with my partner. But everyone, please be safe, be strong, and literally need help. There is help out there.
Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Jojo. I hope you have a good night.
Take care.
Much love to you all. Bye-bye.
And you.
I'm just quickly going to jump in, if that's okay. I hate going live. I hate But I've spoken to a really lovely lady this evening who didn't want to come up herself, but wanted just to express some of the things that she's faced at the hands of this person. The person that we've been speaking about has doxed her number. She has spread vicious lies, contacted the police about them. She has basically forced this lady into a nervous breakdown, and she just wanted everybody to know that actually this isn't a new thing. This behaviour isn't new, and it's time. And we know this, Joe. We've seen it.
Yeah.
But time and time again, and I broke my rule of not jumping into boxes because I felt it was really important to put that across as well, because she was brave enough to reach out and tell us, and I just thought actually she deserves to be heard.
She absolutely does, and that is something I really need people to understand. This isn't an isolated one-off, oops, I've said something awful, I'm terribly sorry. That is not what this is. This is the latest in a long line of things that she's done. I don't want to bring up what she's done I don't want to bring it up in detail what she's done to one of our friends, but she out and out lied, and even when she was shown to be a liar, she still refused to accept responsibility. This is not new. This is what she does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Penny. We're talking about Scouse Slayer, unfortunately.
I don't know if anyone can see what I've got as my green screen.
Hang on. I have to hold the phone like half a mile away so I can see it. Oh, yeah, I can see it. Fantastic.
Survivors Trust are a really good resource for anyone that's struggling, and you can text them if you can't talk, which I think is a really brilliant thing. Sorry, I'm trying to move out of the way so people can see it.
Yes, we did, TMJ. We absolutely did. But when she drove a friend of mine to the point of not wanting to be here anymore, we ceased being friends. And we also... I did a live on her because she was continually claiming... I'm echoing. She was continually claiming that she hadn't done anything wrong. She hadn't said what was being said, etc., which, again, was the whole, not being heard, okay? And we supported this person through that. And I did a live to show the WhatsApp messages that had happened between us all and with her. And that's why I'm trying to say, we left her alone. We didn't, after that, we left her alone. We didn't do anything. We blocked, we moved on. But what's happened recently it's like I said, this is my line. This is my line. I don't like getting involved in other people's drama, right? And I wouldn't get involved in her drama, except for she has triggered an entire community that already feel alone, right? Who already feel they're not heard. And this is the hill I'll die on. And anyone coming for me, please don't waste your time. Just don't bother. I've had comments on TikToks that I've deleted the comment. I found out who you are and I've blocked you. That's all I'm going to do, because I'm not giving you any energy. My energy is for those people who are survivors, who need somewhere to come to be able to speak. So, TMJ, if you go on to the Observer's YouTube channel, the live is up there. Please watch it with caution, a massive caution, okay? If you are affected in any way by what you hear or see, please reach out. Okay? How are you doing, Ali?
Thank you for last night. You're an angel.
Oh, right.
Like many today, I'm really angry. So for those, just to put it into context, I am a survivor of both CSA by a family member and SA by a partner. And I was basically told by my own mother to forget about it and try and make do with the relationship with this family member. And then from the ex-partner, I had from the police, well, this is just a domestic, what did you do? So, really triggered this week, really triggered.
Yeah.
For me, the hardest thing was, because I now have the most wonderful husband, he is amazing. It was the shame of telling him what I'd been through, so that he could understand why certain situations and things are a trigger.
Yeah.
And that took a while, and I know many of us in here will have done that. So I'm sorry if this is triggering.
No, it's okay.
But I also wanted to say that since that, my inbox is open. I have done and can provide the certificates. I am a qualified mental health first aider, level 2 counsellor, and I have done unaliving intervention. I did that many years ago alongside my degree in psychology. So if anybody does want a safe space that they can reach out to alongside everybody else, mine is there. I won't try and cancel, but I will signpost to people in your area. But just know that it won't go any further than me. But yeah, I'm now just really angry. It's very clear she hasn't been through it. Nobody in their right mind would say what she said and think that was acceptable, and that it was our problem for reacting to it the way we have done. What does she expect?
Blew me away. You know, of all the things.
If this had been the green one, could you imagine what would be going all over the FYP?
Yeah. She would be dragged from pillar to post. As would Miss Red, as would Pearl, as would anyone else if they had said anything remotely similar.
Absolutely. It's just mind-blowing. And I'm so angry that there is so many of us that have had to put up with what we've done, come out the other side to make a life for ourselves and try and bury those triggers and deal with them.
Yeah.
That someone who sits behind her screen saying mental health matters could cause all this in one
live. Yeah.
And then have so much support.
It's like I said, there is no fence sitting on this. If you are standing with Scouse, you are standing against survivors. There is absolutely no debate. There is no room to argue. That is exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
End of.
Absolutely. And just like we were on about in your life last week, about that cycle of abuse, she's clearly showing that. The big statement, the big kick-off, the whatever, and now we're to that. Then we went to that, oh, I'm really sorry, and the fake tears. Now we're back to that, well, it's everybody else's fault.
Yeah, for misinterpreting. Yeah. It's not her fault we took it wrong.
No. And I'm sorry, but how can you say you're not responsible for what you're putting out online? How many times did she sit in the Misfits about the green one and say, well, that digital footprint is there forever? And
that's the other thing that saddens me so much, at some point her children will see what she said.
Yeah.
And, as much as I'm sure there are people there trying to protect them and shelter them, and I hope that they succeed, but there is going to come a time when they are going to see what was said, and my heart breaks for them. It breaks for them.
Yeah. And even if they haven't seen it, as they get older, other children, their parents have spoken about it. Well, is your mum the one who said this?
Yeah.
And then those children become ostracised for something that has nothing to do with them.
Yeah. And she's been telling people not to bring her children into it. Cool. Where do I start with that one? You brought your children into it, darling.
Yeah.
Because they were in the room when you were talking, or they were in the vicinity when you were on your live.
Absolutely. And survivors have enough to go through. I mean, to put it into context, my eldest is from that abusive relationship.
Bless her.
And I spent every moment I could to protect them from that.
That's what we do.
Because that's what we do. And until they were of an age where I could show them the relevant details and let them make their own mind up.
Yeah.
When they were 18, and I said, right, now you're old enough to read the paperwork and make your own decision.
Yeah.
And bless him, he broke my heart because he literally just said thank you for protecting me from that. And it was like, that's what we do. That was my job.
Yeah, and what she said wasn't said in a way that a young person wouldn't understand. That was the other thing. The words that were used were easily understood by older junior school age children.
Oh,
so
there's
no defence
for that.
No.
Nothing.
No defence to this at all. None at all.
I'd have thought, well, I wouldn't have thought any more of her, but I would have maybe tried if she'd have held her hands up and said what I did was absolutely, completely irresponsible. I should never have done it. Apologised profusely and properly. And I maybe have gone.
And personally to the people she was talking to, yeah.
I maybe could have gone, absolutely not for me because you've triggered far too much for far too many people. But okay, but you've dug yourself into this shell scrape of wasn't me, it's your fault. No, the words came out of your mouth, and you knew how and why and what you were doing.